Hello and good evening to all of my lovely listeners, lurkers, and watchers. I hope you are having a fantastic Wednesday night. I know I am because I'm here spending it with you. Welcome in, all my dear dust bunnies. I hope you are well. I hope you are taking time to take care of yourself, as it is oh so important to do so. Leopard, you're not allowed to come in here with my favorite cane meme. You're not allowed to do that. We already have Bubble. I can't add Shimmy A to. I can't do that. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in. Yes, do please get your highs, hellos in. I will rapid fire them once we are on screen. For the moment, I am waiting for my tea to cool down. As always, thank you for the reminder to stay hydrated, Leopard. I know you have a thing about it. Sorry. I think I need to adjust my microphone. One moment. I'm gonna try something entirely new. Okay, this might be better. What did Moobler do? Why was Moobler singled out of the crowd? What did you do? I might like this better. I changed one thing about my mic. This seems significantly less likely to be hit. I was hoping that I would still have some time to tell you about the secret funny thing about this particular stream. We're having a little bit of an ASMR night where we're just kind of taking the piss and we're gonna have fun and be silly about it. Because I feel like it. I saw Jetpack Cat. I'll get to that. I promise. I promise I saw that. I have my own very specific ideas about a cute little kitty cat in a jetpack or with little things. We'll get to that. Don't worry. You know how much I like talking about little guys. You know. But welcome in, Nicholas, and welcome in, Mosslings. Hi, hello to both of you. I hope you are well. My tea is still really hot. Oh my god, Auntie, hello, hi! I knew I shouldn't have rushed through the high hellos. It was my own goddamn fault. I'll have to do a second take. Welcome into everybody who's with us tonight. Hi, Mosslings. Hello. Hello. We're just going to be trying to have fun tonight, while keeping things in the ASMR theme. Chill and cozy. I don't know if I would say that specifically, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. It is my whole personal philosophy that I am made to embrace the chaos of things. When things are messy is when my mind is the most effective. All I have to do is contextualize, not compartmentalize. Contextualize. I also wanted to point out for a quick second that there are 3 relatively undecorated dust bunnies on the screen, which is not a problem. It's just cute that each of you has a different tail, and that's the only difference. Auntie's got the cute little puffball tail, Mossling has the short fluffy tail, and Leopard has like the long, like thick tail. It's kind of lizardy. I can see the lizard comparison there. Call it Cornflake because she's flopping. Oh. She's Cornflake. No, not the function keys. You might F4 the stream. Please don't do that. My girl, Cornflake, please. Think before you act. Yes, we do also have the Taco Bell bong in the background as a way to keep me from potentially getting too sappy or too serious. I have a very soft marshmallow heart at the moment, and I've noticed that I am quite sensitive. I have no desire to be overly sappy on ASMR streams, though. That's not my jam. Are you kidding me? Ew, get those emotions out of here. Exactly, my beloved. Exactly, my beloved. Blow up those emotions. Blow up those emotions, just like Ted Kaczynski. Did you not know Mosslings? I can give you a quick tutorial. It'll be a little bit more difficult on mobile, but you can access the extension through it. It's going to be in your panels section, wherever that is exactly, and there will be a little controller. I'm going to assume that it was Kruznik that froze me. There's going to be a little controller shape that says stream avatars, and I'll have a bunch of different buttons and ways for you to input commands. On desktop, since it's in the panel section, you can just scroll down to it, and there's even a little pop-up window for it that you can like move to a different spot, like if you have the stream minimized but you want that to be in a different area. Oh, we're all frozen. Popsicle bunnies. Oh. Yeah. So it's both the customizable from the little drop-down menu that's on the left, or the controller that allows you to do a bunch of silly little things with your little guys. Technically, there's supposed to be the incentive of using the coins to buy the items to customize. But what can I say? The Dust Bunnies and I are just sweet little... We're very obsessed with customization. Very obsessed with that. You are a puffball, auntie. I like thinking of it that way. Be consumed. See, there's all kinds of fun stuff that the bunnies can do. I'm really glad that we added it. We've got to tweak some stuff for the boss battles. And no boss battles during ASMR streams because they're very intensive. But I want to figure out some more stuff with that. There was a big pumpkin boss that all of you can fight against. Apparently the boss battles are interactive, which is different than the battle royales. That's where everybody just in PC fights each other, which I do like those. I think those are fun. But for the boss battles, you have to opt in via the command, and then you have to input a command whenever the turn for your little guy pops up. Oh my god, Mossline's screen. Mossline's a screen. Who would have thought? That's not exactly what I thought the captions would say. That's not exactly, but my goodness. I can understand why there are some people who don't like using caption programs because they are kind of finicky, but good encouragement to speak more clearly. I didn't get any of my props. I have to grab those real quick. Then we can get started. I'll run through the hi hellos a second time, so if anybody else would like to get a hi hello in, while I'm grabbing that, now is the time. Where'd my knife go? I had my knife when we were making Valentine's the other night. I have no idea where it is now. Honest to God, especially with how mushmouth I am, I'm surprised that the captions has picked up any kind of pattern in the way that I talk. I think it's partially adaptive. It seems partially adaptive, at least. No idea. Where did my knife go? What did I do with my knife? I must have just, like, tossed it in my craft drawer. Well, I don't want to go rummaging through that, so... Only trigger we're not getting tonight is paper cutting. I like leaving the Silent Hill music on. Or do we want to switch to ambient fireplace and thunderstorms? We'll be reading some poems and some little short stories and stuff like that. Yes, we finished watching it too, Auntie. Do you guys want that to be our first, like, mega yap session of the night? Fallout, the TV show? Okay, okay. I want us to all be on the same page right off the bat. It is really stupid. It is very stupid. Consistency? Never heard of her. Never heard of her. Silly plot things that seemingly go nowhere or are completely uninteresting to the formation of the party that's currently taking place. Dumb as hell, alright? Stupid. Some things, though. And that, whether earnestly or only by happenstance, because they're emulating themes from New Vegas, even in the lightest possible way, at the end of the day, what seems to be the undertone of the Fallout TV series is hope. And I cannot call something that at the very least tries to push that narrative a little bit entirely terrible. Some of the ways it does it are really fucking dumb, but sorry, I became the Woggin Goggins for a second. 200-year-old ghoul cowboy. Oh no. I guess if it was me, I would be that one like ghoul cowboy lady that's at the Followers of the Apocalypse tents in Freeside. A little pinch and squeal never hurt anybody. Okay. Okay, we are gonna switch over to some ambience. You'll still be able to hear the bong of peace and no bad vibes. But I can talk about— oh no! My beloved, I'm not on screen yet. You misappropriated your blood for the blood gods. How could you? How could you? Hi. Hi, hello, everybody. Hi. It's definitely not bad times. Okay, so the Silent Hill 3 playlist that we listen to specifically is it shows Heather and the detective in the car, so I do just picture that that's the only peaceful time in the entire game. The only peaceful moment that we have. Everything else is horrors. Horrors. Alright. Hi, hello, Nicholas. Welcome in. Hi, hello, Mosslings. Welcome in. Hi, hello, Auntie. Welcome in. And hi, hello, my darling Krusnik. Welcome in. I hope you are all having a lovely, lovely night. The bong of peace and serenity. It does work, though. It does work, though, honestly. It reminds you not to take anything too seriously. Oh my god, Mosling's got the cute little winged eyeliner. Ah, and the sleepy cap. Ooh, party hat's also a good choice. I knew you guys liked decorating yourselves. I knew it. So, obviously, Fallout show. Kinda stupid. Kinda stupid. I don't think anybody actually gives a shit about spoilers. I'm not gonna lie to you, Macaulay Culkin as a legionary was the funniest fucking thing to me. I know he's a chill dude. I know he's a pretty chill dude, so like a lot of just how I picture this is just the people who are acting in this very, very dumb show with very, very random occasional little things that are cool. I picture that the actors are just trying to have as much fun with it as possible. So, Macaulay Culkin as a legionary is funny. I am so surprised that I did not see, like, a variety of jokes of just, the Legion wouldn't stand for this. The Legion wouldn't stand for this at all. He uses too much technology to prevent invasion. He should use his raw strength. And then other legionaries would argue. They would say, no, he's doing it right. He's using what he's got in the name of protecting his own stuff. It'd be hilarious. It would be hilarious to watch the Kaiser sympathizers argue about whether Macaulay Culkin legionary is apt or not. But that was just me. I thought that was really silly. There was this weird thing where they kept like kind of switching like whether the ghoul or Lucy was a stand-in for the courier in a funny way. I don't know, it was very funky. That was also kind of stupid. Individual scenes were kind of neat, but overall it was stupid. The one line that they specifically take from like an interaction with House was everybody works for me in the end. And out of all of the Mr. House lines, like, that was a good one to include, but I would have liked at least like a couple of others. Omega, welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. What's up? What's up? Hope you're well. It is the yappening. It is the ASMR yappening. I hope everybody is okay with that. I'm very tired today. I woke up at like 4 a.m. Just working and eating. Hell yeah, at least you're eating. Fuck yeah. Anything good? Try anything new lately? What did you guys have for dinner? Or your most recent meal? Time zones and all that. You know we appreciate it. You know we appreciate it. I'm glad. 4 a.m. is early. Yerp. Yerp it is. Oh yeah, it is. I was pretty sure that I was going to descend into some amount of mania tonight, no matter what. But I promised the Dust Bunnies a nice, whispery ASMR talkie stream. I promised you it was on the schedule, and I was gonna make the date no matter what. I hope everybody had fun on Monday with the crafting. I had a lot of fun. In retrospect, whenever I do any kind of thing on camera, I always realize how nervous of a person I look like. I move around like a nervous person. I gesture like a nervous person. It's that one like Bob's Burgers skit where it's just like, of course he had a bad childhood. Look at your posture. It's what's wrong with my posture. That's how somebody who never experienced love stands. Or something along those lines. I don't think that's the exact quote. But I still always have fun with them. Because it's just, I don't know. I think it's extra silly. I can't wait until I have a proper hand cam set up that's like just the table. Because that's more indicative, more invocative of the TV tarot card readers, if you know what I'm talking about, where people used to call in and have the tarot reader give them a reading live. That's what I've always tried to sort of encapsulate there. Setup does not lend itself to easy hand cam, though. If you looked nervous, I didn't notice anything. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have noticed that other nervous people don't tend to notice. Not saying nothing about nothing. Correlation does not imply causation. However... Exactly, Miss Cleo, exactly. I think sometimes when I talk vaguely about stuff like that, it's because I don't know if anybody else is aware of icons like Miss Cleo. Dude, that was like my daytime television as a child. I loved Miss Cleo. Loved it. I even went back and I looked up a commercial for her show at one point whenever I was thinking about stuff for like ASMR tarot card readings. I did that. It's very, I don't know, there's just something so specific about it. There's something so specific about her presentation that's just fantastic. What's everybody looking at? To me, you are so tiny. You are now prey to the bigger ones. Run. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of like goofy, very a-specific niche things that I know about. I've kind of had to come to terms with that a little bit over the years, that sometimes people just do not know about the things that I talk about, and the only reason that I know about them is because I've been online for a very long time. Stare? Stare? For some reason that one didn't work actually on you, Nicholas, or it ended very quickly. How strange. I don't remember anything of it. You can use the little widget. It's very helpful. I forget which commands that I have available. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, niche references. Okay, so one in particular, one of my lovely, lovely friends that does happen to come into the chat every now and again. She is also a very big Taco Bell fangirl. Not just in the food, but like in the lore of Taco Bell. She, however, did not know that there is a Taco Bell at the Pentagon, like inside the Pentagon. And that some people, I'm not going to say who, some people, I found out that other people did this, have their business addresses set up to that location. She did not know this. She did not know that there is a Taco Bell inside the Pentagon. I was like, oh shit, wait a minute. Because we also talk about like goofy political theory stuff and funky political history every now and again. Another one that she didn't know was about Fidel Castro's obsession with milk and how he tried to like bioengineer tiny cows that could live in people's apartments. She didn't know that. And I was like, man, that Salmonello video is right up your alley. What do you mean you haven't seen it? You would be surprised. You would be surprised of just some of the stuff that people just casually don't know about. I assume, Nicholas, you and I are very similar in that we are information sponges for things that even just are tangentially related to stuff we're interested in. Also, it's unfortunate that some of the stuff we're very interested in is very broad subjects like history. So there's just a lot of random historical facts that you know that paint a very particular picture of reality. Have you seen the McDonald's and the Pentagon song? I don't think I have, actually. For some reason, I got a very visceral memory of that one Subway commercial from like 2006. Very like early Lemime kind of style of the little rat creatures singing to each other. What was it? I do apologize, my lovely listeners, lurkers, and watchers. We have an ad break coming up here in just a moment. And I meant to change something about the ads. I have been advised by my lovely, lovely streamer Oshis and seniors, my streamer senpais, my VTuber senpais, have encouraged an adjustment to the ad settings. 20 minutes, 3 minutes every 6. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I meant to change something about this. One, because I noticed whenever we take a break every hour after the first half hour, I tend to be a little bit longer than a minute, and I feel bad about it. But if I compartmentalize and work everything into a 3-minute span, a lot easier for me, for one. For two, regardless to some of the stuff that people have said about not getting ads on the channel, I'm worried that new people coming in are getting pre-rolls and everything, because I've noticed some weird stuff since I've been playing around with the settings. But most people in chat say that they don't get ads in the first place. So we're going to go with this setting, and we are going to go with the practice with taking an actual break every time that the ad break comes up. try to encapsulate it to that exclusive 3-minute period of time and make sure that we all take a break together. Encourage healthy behaviors like getting up, moving around, taking care of the things that you need to. Pre-rolls are evil. They are indeed. They are indeed, and I want to avoid them as much as possible. I have just very, in general, been confused about the state of how ads are working on my channel, so if my people still don't get ads anyway, whether you're subscribed or not for whatever reason, whether they're like the pop-up ads or the actual full stream stopping affairs, whatever way about it, we're still going to try to equilibrium it out amongst everybody, and if we can negate anybody getting pre-rolls, I think I should go with that. I think I should go with that. So we're going to do 3 minutes every hour after the first half hour. And on that, 30 seconds till the ad. Highest security clearance in the USA works at Taco Bell. Actually, 1, if you're not careful, you could kill somebody. 2, if you try to, you could probably kill somebody. Oh, good God, list. Okay, last thing before the ad. I'm not going to touch on this again. Out of all of the absurd factoids that have come out of the past 3 days, it would not surprise me that some super powerful mega person in the entire world is the reason why we've never lost the Crunchwrap Supreme on the Taco Bell menu. That's the last I'm going to say about that. Enjoy the ads, everybody. Take your break. Get some water, stretch, do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. And we'll be back in just a moment. Is the Taco Bell combination KFC in the Pentagon? Is that why we have the Cantina menu now? Is that why they have, like, chicken nuggets and chicken tenders? Did they just season the KFC chicken with Taco Bell spice? I'm gonna be honest with you, I really wouldn't be surprised. That's a little bit more wholesome than the previous conspiracy theory we were working on. I gotta tell you, okay. Last thing. Also, hi, welcome back from the ads, everybody. Okay, like actually, it's very weird being like somebody who's been interested in conspiratorial stuff for a long time. It's crazy to think about, but it was probably like Metal Gear Solid 2 that introduced me to a lot of these ideas when I was very young, and I was very confused, but it was just like, oh, the government can lie to you, and they do. It was that kind of thing, you know? Right now, I can tell, cracking under the pressure, even I feel insane. I was like, I know all this. What do you mean? What do you mean? None of this is surprising. None of it. It's terrible. My God, it's not surprising though. So in the strive to encourage good mental health behaviors and a little bit of, you know, self-awareness, because if you're self-aware but you only give yourself shit, you're not self-aware, you're just repackaging self-hate. You didn't think about that, did you? It is perfectly reasonable right now to feel a little crazy. It is perfectly reasonable right now to feel like nothing makes sense. Perfectly reasonable. So say the gods. So say the gods. Should we just start calling the Monday streams Manic Mondays? If I'm just gonna be like silly all the time, I gotta think of a pun for each stream. Welcome back, everybody. What do you think? Manic Mondays. Whispers Wednesdays. I think it's like the whispers in your head. And then what do we want for Friday? What do we want for Friday? I grabbed a multi-tool so I could use the knife that's on it. Well, that would be Sunday. Sunday would be the bloody day. What would Friday be? I grabbed a little multi-tool for the sake of having a knife that I could use to cut up paper and stuff. Because that's one of our favorite little triggers around here. And now I'm just fucking with the pliers part of it. It's a little Faust in front. I think we're on to something. But not quite. I'm not very Faustian myself, but I like where this train is going. We'll figure it out. The tapping isn't bad. This is just unfortunately not how you actually use pliers. I don't even know where I got this actually. I think I've just had it forever. It's a little like unfolding pliers multi-tool. So the sides of it come around it to close it all up or become the handles if you have it open. It's also black and yellow, which is pretty cute. I don't talk about how much I love bees. I don't talk enough about how much I like bees. Ooh, that'd be a fun, like, little... What would be a good word for it? Ambience? No. Just the sound of bees at work. That'd be a nice, like, background, natural ASMR kind of thing. I don't know if I can sound like a bee, so I'm not even gonna try. But that would be nice. That would be nice. The ones that we had. The bell is to remind us not to take anything too seriously. The lovely little trigger that we added last time. How did we do it? I was able to clack them together, where it just reverberated in just the right way. I can't believe these have just been sitting on my bookshelf for so long. They're perfect. I think I need to watch the Fallout show again from the start. I need to just watch it start to finish. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow while I deep clean my house. It's weird to think that there is a weird level of passion in anything that's creative. No matter how dog water it ultimately becomes, there's still passion in it. Which is really cool. Whoever the set team is for the show, somebody needs to pay them so much more. The big sets do look very cool. And then little contained spaces can have so many details. My favorite is that the highly religious sect of the Brotherhood also seems very interested in collecting antiques and art of a different variety. Never mentioned in the script or the story, only hinted at in the background. Isn't that fun? I feel like this is the most actually hypnotic trigger that we have. Because even I, after a second, is just like, does something good for the heart. Now, I didn't think about it, because honestly, I really would like a physical copy of it. But I believe that there are public access copies of The King in Yellow. Why is it Minecraft is the first thing that comes up? What do you mean? That's not even, that's nowhere near even the first, like, fiction that the King in Yellow pops up in that I think of. What do you mean Minecraft King in Yellow? Is it a mod? Damn it, now I'm curious. I'm gonna find... So fucking mad right now. Let's do a little breathing exercise. Alright, well, it does look like we could read it. Are these... How long are the stories? Well, this doesn't have them divided up into pages. Okay. I'll find a different one. Okay, I don't hate Minecraft. I don't hate it. I am... agitatingly apathetic towards it. What does that mean? I don't think of it independently. Unfortunately, when I do think about it, I get very frustrated at nothing in particular. Minecraft is just the button in my brain. Is this a good one? Why don't you have it broken up into pages? I'm going to... Oh my god, wait a minute. Oh my god, the first chapter is like 50 pages. I did not realize how long these ones were. Oh my god. I thought they were shorter. I thought they were more along the lines of some of Poe's short stories. But no, the Repairer of Reputations, which is the first story in The King in Yellow, stretches from 9 to page 57. Holy moly. Mako, welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. That's not a bear. Something about that is evil. I make no judgment, but I recognize evil when I see it. That one just makes me think of, like, old dogs, and now I'm sad. Kind of makes me think of, like, something masquerading as a bear more than anything. Aw, that one's also sad, but it's cute. Oh, that one's sad, but cute. Poor guy. At least he doesn't have a nose to break. Should I have a big sign that says parody in the corner for today? I normally take things a little bit more seriously, but even today I'm not feeling it. More of the Pyramid Head candy quartz emotes, please. More of those. Those are lovely. Wait. I was hanging out while she was playing Resident Evil Chronicles. That's the first time I had seen that one, and I was a little bit flabbergasted, I'm not gonna lie. I was watching her play that earlier, and I saw this one. That's Claudia eating the fetus from Heather in Silent Hill 3. That's Claudia just eating a fetus. She's munching on it. In context, that emote is fucking crazy. Minmo is not crazy. Minmo is objectively correct. Also, I fucking love that one. It's really cute. I can't remember which artist did that one in particular, but very good stuff. I agree, somebody else had to be strong enough to get the fetus eating emote. Claudia eating the fetus, Saturn devouring the sun. Somebody had to do it. I'm glad it was Candy. I'm very glad it was Candy. Very appropriate. Yeah, so show the streamer your adorable little emote sticker books. What are all of your favorites right now? That one's pretty cute. That one's pretty cute. I get that feeling. I like Robbie and I like Mira. The goose is pretty good too. The goose is pretty good too. That one's a... Is that one a hype train reward? If I remember right. It is. Yes, I've got it. I've also got the evil hype rabbit, which never could live up to Robbie. Never. Never ever five ever. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? I don't think you're looking close enough, actually. I don't. What are you looking at? What are you looking at, huh? Huh? What are you looking at? Yeah, your peeper's peeled on something. What are you looking at? I can get closer. Hold on. Hold on. I can get closer. I can't get distorted, but I can get closer. Hi. What are you looking at? I'm just trying to cross the crosswalk. What are you looking at? That's not what I was looking at. I was looking at all of you. I was looking at all of you, you goofball. Besides that, there's also the scary cat. That one's adorable. That is from... What game is he from? What game is the little kitty cat from? I forget, but I recognize it. I am surprised by the sheer amount of feet emotes. I remember like a couple of years ago, everybody was real like freaked out to do stuff like that. Which I always thought was goofy. Wait, no. Now I feel too far away. Back here. Back here. That's better. That's significantly better. Kind reminder to stay hydrated, everybody. Oh, that one's cute. But I don't think we can have an emote like that. But I do want something that has the same energy as the golden faith cross, you know? We should also play faith at some point. I haven't yet, and I have a feeling I'm gonna suck at it. Just a feeling. Like, pointed at the entity? Or would you like an emote that's us with a little flashlight? Or a camera? Ooh. I think like a little film camera would be very cute. That would be, We should. We absolutely should. I am kind of weird about the game, even if I don't talk about it super often. There's a lot of stuff in it that I really like. Erdorf is also just kind of goofy. He's definitely in the echelon of precious little guys. I really wanted the Mortis keychain, but I was afraid that I would break it too quickly. Mortis. Mortis. So I heard we're going to have internet camps for unmarried people to visit a very stranger in 2 weeks. That's interesting. Pray tell, where did you hear that, Polly? But also welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely night. And hi, Marksy. I hope you're having a lovely night. Welcome in. We are. I'm tired and brain fogged. It is Silent Hill in these neurons right now. So we're silly, but we're still trying. I do like all of the kitty cat emotes for this last Halloween. That was a very good selection. I didn't get all of them, but you know, it happens. On par with the manic brain. We do have Taco Bell Bong in the background to remind me not to take anything too seriously. So we're just having a silly night. But I also hope that everybody else is doing well. I asked everybody earlier what you had all eaten. What have you guys eaten today? Tell me. In a 2026 report associated with the aims of oh dear. You know what? I said we should do a breathing exercise a little while ago. I think a breathing exercise would be a good idea. Cereal? What kind of cereal? That's not specific. Did you have, like, dairy milk in it? Did you have oat milk? Nut milk? What kind of cereal? Do you guys remember those silly little cereal bowls from the 2000s that had the straws on the side of them? They kind of look like the bowls from the Teletubbies, too. I need to move this somewhere, but everything will be too loud. But no, Polly, I did not hear about that, but thank you for keeping us informed. I do genuinely appreciate it. You are our reporter in the field. Thank you. I had a red and a yellow one. There we go. There we go. Reporter in the field. I don't mean this in any kind of a mean way. Because honestly, I don't know how much more absurd our reality can get at this point. I don't mean this in any kind of a mean way, Polly. But I would politely request that, for the sake of my own mental health at the moment, for the sake of my own mental health at the moment, could we possibly, direct the discussion of the horrors, the man-made horrors, well within comprehension? Perhaps not to the ASMR nights. You're not in trouble or nothing. You're not in trouble or nothing, so don't feel like it. But, if I'm being entirely transparent with you, I am currently cracking under the pressure. I think, like a lot of other people, they're not doing well at all. Doing with what we can. Trying to stay positive, trying to stay out here for the community that we've built of people with good, compassionate hearts that sometimes just like to be a little bit silly in a little bit of an offensive way. But again, we punch ourselves. We don't punch other people. We only make jokes about stuff that we have the perspective to do so. You know? Not gonna lie to you, I'm cracking under the pressure a little bit. So, we're just trying to handle stuff. I had like 20 seconds before joining stream. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I accept the apology. All is forgiven. It's understandable though. The flood of information is a lot. I said it a little while ago. But for the sake of mental health in general, for the sake of mental health, it is very important to recognize that this is a lot. And if you feel like it's a lot, it is a lot. You're not crazy. You are not unwell. You are dealing with something that is a lot. Give yourself time, okay? Give yourself time to process. It's important that we keep clear heads so we can keep an eye out for each other, right? Right? Don't panic. Just don't panic. You know the wave is coming. Be ready for it. If you need some more time, take a step back. It is okay to do that. Could be me. Jetpack Cat will save me. Can Jetpack Cat save all of us, or does he have like a limit on the amount that he can carry? Oh yeah, the idea that I had was a little Halloween skin for the character. Obviously like a cute black cat with like bright glowy orange or golden eyes on a flying pumpkin with like little vines or tentacles or like the tiny pumpkins attached or something. I really hope they do something like that. That is my clairvoyant prediction actually of what they'll do with the first Halloween skin for that character. Golden-eyed black cat pumpkin. Yep, I'm calling it now. Everybody owes me $10 if I'm right. Oh, everybody's ready. Everybody's ready. I'm not gonna lie to you, I am considering going to Deadlock a little bit more. I don't know if I can return to Overwatch. I don't know if I can do it. As a bit of perspective, from midway through the beta to the first 2 years post full release, I was in the running to be one of the top 25 FAR players in the world. I played that game a lot. I played that game a lot 10 years ago. I don't know. I don't know if I can go back to that. I did see it a second though, as well. Thank you for the reminder to stay hydrated, Omega. We're gonna take a second to get hydrated. And then I think a nice little breathing exercise that I can teach you that can help you deal with stress might be a good idea. I remember, Mako, I saw that drunk 11-hour stream. It was like 11 hours, right? I saw a little bit of it. I shouldn't say that I was there for the whole time, but I was lurking. I was lurking. That was pretty funny, too. I think I got there at the point that you were just like throwing ideas at the wall. It was very funny to watch somebody stumble around such familiar maps with the grace of a newborn fawn. It was fascinating. What does washed mean in this context? Sorry, 29-year-old moment here. What does washed actually mean in this context? Is it like bad? I could probably pick up the skills fairly easily. I love it. I love being in my weird little niche of entertainment. I have people that are younger than me and I have people that are older than me in my chat. These youngins and their funny lingo. Damn, pro is ancient. If I'm a hag, what does that make you? Which apparently I am. Apparently I am. I guess I give off enough, like, weird old woman energy. I don't think it's grandmotherly. But whatever weird maternal-esque instinct I might have is definitely more focused on being the crotchety old woman in the village. Just hunched over with my cane, just yelling at people to be nice to each other and to stop fucking around. If you fuck around long enough, you're gonna find out. And your fucking around is gonna have a bad trajectory of finding out. You're gonna bite off more than you can chew. That's my wisdom. Don't fuck around more than you can find out, young ones. And everyone's like, Grandma, how are you even still alive? How are you even still alive? You're like 100 years old. It's like, I smoked cigarettes one time. Just the one. Never again. That was actually the secret to immortality, but the reason that nobody else ever made it is because they couldn't stop at one. Willpower of steel is the only thing that the Reaper can't combat. Your knees creak when you walk. I don't think it was 11 hours, was it? 70 hours? I can't even remember. See, I can't even remember, and I was there. And Rose Drunk also confused what happens suddenly. No matter what, it was entertaining. No matter what, it was entertaining. Any stream where you give into mania and delirium is going to be fun, whether you remember it or not. More ancient sorceress who nobody crosses and just in case. Exactly. As I work my way up into the actual, like, swamp hag kind of classification, there's gonna be a time when I'm in, like, my mid-40s to, like, probably, like, mid-70s, honestly, where I'm just kind of like the hot grandma in the woods, or just the hot older woman in the woods. People are gonna come up to me and ask, oh, are you the... You must be the witch. I'm looking for a cure for mine. I'll be like, No, actually. No, actually, I am not the witch in the woods. He lives over there. He lives over there in that cabin. If you need somebody to help you pick out an outfit for goth night, though, I can help you with that. I'm out here mostly to write smut and horror novels. That's mostly why. Hi, Polly, you've been here for a second, but hi, hello. Does everybody want to get another round of hi hellos in, even though we've already been here for an hour? I tend to hear teenagers bitching more about their knees. I think it's genuinely... and it's kind of sad, but I think the same level of physical activity that was expected of us when we were younger is not expected of the current youth. But that's also something that, obviously, just like people getting into their 20s and 30s might not realize, you're not climbing on jungle gyms like you used to. Do you know the only other place that you see jungle gyms outside of playgrounds? Military training facilities. If you're worried about your physical health, your stamina, your endurance, your ability to push and pull around your body weight, go to the fucking playground. Hang on the monkey bars, have fun. I got a notification about something, 1 second. It's luminescence. What are you bitches doing on the Discord? Get over here. The day I realized I made noises to get in and out of a chair, youth was over. Go play on the monkey bars. Hang upside down. You probably just need to decompress yourself, honestly. Oh no, where was that notification? It's lost. Ah! Alright, whatever. That's fine. Anna main, and so I'm also old woman. Hot goth old woman, specifically. Don't let anybody tell you that Anna isn't a goth woman. She is a healer that is also marked by the god Horus, and the counter is Faraz, who is marked by Anubis, who is the god of death. These two go hand in hand. You cannot tell me. Goth mom-daughter duo. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to exist. Oh, that's inherently true, though. They are losing the ability to walk, read, do math. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But this is why we work towards a better future. It's bigger than us. The cosmic horror and the cosmic hope. It's bigger than us. But if you get what that is a reference to, don't say anything. It's all the chemicals and plastics and everything. Well, we've had that at the same, we've just had different formulations. For people pre-1972, there was lead in gasoline. Mercury was significantly more common. They used it in tooth fillings, and we know that that leached into different people in different ways. There was also cocaine at one point for a lot of, Victorian stuff for a while. MK Ultra and the LSD in the water. Any number of things. We just added to the list microplastics, which I think is kind of more interesting than anything else, since a lot more people are really interested in transhumanism and everything. And just maybe if we ingest enough, of a certain material, something molecularly about our body will start to change. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I said we were going to do a breathing exercise, for the 5th time 10 minutes ago. Hi, Jeannie. Welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. We're getting weirdly serious on an ASMR stream again. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I should have kept the existential horrors tag. I should have. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think genuinely, knees are just really easy to work out, or to get, very weak in general. I think knees are just very easy to get weak. I've always had a variety of joint problems. So, it's less of a matter of, things changing as I'm getting older, and more of just the condition progressing. You can give yourself a little bit of grace in that. Monkey bars have never been the same for me since I watched the video about gibbons. They look like adorable Slytherin understudies with the mentality of an Wait, hold on. Intrusive thought given sentience. What the fuck is a gibbon in this case, Omega? Bro, what the fuck is a gibbon? Oh! Cute little, very long arm, long leg monkeys. Aw! Their faces are like so round, and the tufts of hair around their faces are so, oh my god, they're so cute. Oh my god, they're so cute. I can definitely see why that would change your perspective. Absolutely see where that could change your perspective. Thank you for the stream streak, Genie. Rawr. Is that what you wanted? You wanted the rawr. You can just type it out. It's supposed to be RAWRXD. That's how it's actually spelled. Literally changing genetics of plastic particulates. I'm trying. Trying something at least. The ceiling stuff, which name escapes me. Asbestos? Yeah, asbestos. It's also in insulation. Cocaine was in gum as an energy boost. It was. Also the same Nazi scientists that worked on the development of heroin to keep their soldiers awake for weeks to months on end were also the same ones that were brought into the United States during Project Paperclip. And then 20 years later, we started putting LSD in the water. Food for thought. Food for thought. I'm a bit tired and mentally overstimulated, but it's okay. I'm so sorry, GD. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're a little bit manic today. So full warning, if that is something that kind of energy is funky to deal with, I completely understand. This is not a comfy, cozy ASMR stream. You are watching somebody descend, cracking under the pressure. Or describe it, they look like the monkey equivalent of Slenderman. No, you're right. You're right. They're just like a naked Slenderman. Is that why he wears the suit? Is his head the only hairless part of his body and he's just like stacked like Bigfoot underneath? That'd be crazy. It's only game. Why you have to be made? It's only game. It's only game. Hey, if you're a mathematician, it's more likely that you believe that the universe is a simulation anyway. My knees are dope for a second. Did you get some cool knee tattoos, Mako? I got the knees that even the bees are jealous. So. I don't know, the bees got like a lot of knees. The bees got a lot of knees in comparison. Never been through oblivion, never. Never. Where are we? Did I catch up with everybody? Almost. Almost. Meditor, wait. Oh, the little monkeys, they have, oh, they're little pranksters. Do you think an ASMR version of the abduction redeem is possible, or is it too distracting? Oh, unfortunately I have all of the... Okay, sorry, actually I had to make sure that another volume was turned off. I have all of the sound alerts disabled for the ASMR stream. But, let me see something. Hold on, let me see something just for you. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Oh, wait. Ah. There you go. I don't think that scratches the itch quite right, but I hope it works. Fuck Project Paperclip. All my homies hate Project Paperclip. All my homies fucking hate the CIA. Time to figure out what needs to be bought this month. Oh, budget time. Budget time. Good luck. Gotta do that. We gotta do that too, actually. I'm not gonna think about budget though. Not right now. Oh, it's like a Bayonetta thing. Slenderman just uses his body hair to warp into his suit. That's why it's so stylish. Makes sense. Also, it's fine. Don't change the story. Oh, I was letting you know as a warning. I was letting you know more as a warning. I don't know if I can change the stream at this point. Gibbons are technically type of ape, brother of the monkey, but the tail is a dead giveaway. They just look very silly. They look very silly. Take Cruise and they're sent to the front line. Yes, yes. And it was the scientists that developed it were ones that we brought over during Paperclip. I'm sure other ones that were also part of the same project got scattered to different places that took in other scientists. Oh, you thought it was only the United States government? Nope. This is starting to remind me of the conspiracy theory ASMR stream that we did that was actually quite popular. Washed is like no longer in prime. Like think of LeBron. Aw, man. I could reclaim my skill. I get nervous on stream more than anything else. I should challenge myself to something skill-based, though. I really should. Well, I guess, like, that's what White Knuckle has been most recently. Crazy moment today where I realized that the professor is only 10 years older than me. Oof. Oof, that is always weird to find out. They're either very young in, like, their teaching career, or they're, like, what is it? It's the one before their master's. Or no, it's the PhD usually that people have to, like, have a certain amount of hours teaching to get or something like that. All my homies hate Geppetto. All of our homies hate Geppetto. Obviously. It's more so because Geppetto is kind of a Victor Frankenstein-esque character. All my homies hate Victor Frankenstein. You want to make life? Learn that women are people. Holy. Chronically idiotic oafs. I like that one, Omega. I like that one. That's funny. Gotta buy Resident Evil still. Neo 3 bot. Yeah, right? Wait, didn't Neo fully come out? I thought you said you were playing it. Or you were excited about it. I can't remember now. They got snubbed by the critic. Did they? Did they? This is very interesting. Classification of animals is always very fascinating. Let me double check. Heavily unedited. Heavily unedited, if anything, but I believe... is this one paywall locked? Oh shoot, I forgot that I was logged out. Okay, hold on, I'm fixing it. Had a demo out. Ah, that's what it was. Okay, that's right. No, I don't want to subscribe to my own page. Okay, I think I have one. I get so nervous about sharing stuff, and for a good while, none of this was very popular, and I got down in my feels about whether anything that I ever did was good or anything. So I haven't really shared a lot of what I've got, but I have full intention to change that this year. The biggest thing that I have a goal for is actually publishing some of my works, and then potentially writing on some preliminary movie kind of stuff. It's a wild thing to choose to exist and to continue existing. And if I'm continue existing, I have to make something out of that. I feel it in me. It's something that I want to do. Even if I suck at it at first, even if it's hard, even if it takes a lot, I want to do it. I want to do it so bad. And this year is a big goal for that. So, some stuff that is fairly old. It looks like I posted these in August of last year, but the last time I touched either of these very incomplete stories was probably very early 2025. But we do have some stuff over on our Patreon. I believe is the link in our panels, or is it... I can link it specifically. I wasn't live and I was reacting whatever was 30 minutes ago. I had a feeling something like that had happened. I had a feeling something like that was happening, but I was giving you the benefit of the doubt of like, oh, maybe you heard the thing earlier and you were just like, oh, I forgot to ask about this. I was giving the benefit of the doubt. I believed in you. Hey, kind reminder to refresh your... If you do hang out with us for a good period of time, sometimes it's just good to refresh your browser, just to make sure that there are no latency issues, just in case. You and Raven is supposed to go to gymnasium. Oh, dang it. Actually, that does make me kind of sad, because now that makes me want to catch you up on, like, everything that happened in the past 30 minutes. Shoot. Even I don't remember. I never remember anything, though. Okay. Let me make sure that this is the right page. Is this the... Copy link. There we go. Okay. Here you go, Marksy. Very, very incomplete stuff. But if you want any kind of an idea about how I write pragmatically, that's worth checking out. You know what? You know what? As a special treat, because everybody in our community, and I am very thankful for this, everybody in our community has been incredibly kind, incredibly sweet, incredibly open and compassionate, and very receptive to a lot of the shenanigans that I have concocted in my mind as of late when it comes to quote-unquote content I want to make. Let me give you a preview into some of these story outlines that I will be revisiting. The two... I do have to be careful about how I talk about these. The two that are previewed on the Patreon are Monster in the Manor, which is a fun little, just a little, like, fluffy Beauty and the Beast kind of story. It's very fluffy. It's very fluffy. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to turn these into audiobooks. Yeah, you thought that that was my only idea? You think people can only make scripted erotica POV audios? Nah. No, I'm gonna narrate and make the sound effects for my own audiobooks. All me, baby. First time this has happened. Don't forget to refresh your browser periodically, just in case. The other one is The Magnificent Mimic, which is a story about a thief that goes into an ancient tomb that is effectively a hazing ritual for young thieves, and bites off a little more than they can chew, so to say. I've got some that are the traditional POV kind of style. I do have some like that. Mostly hypnosis focused. Mostly hypnosis focused, mostly. I have a bunch of goofy stuff for the people from the town of nowhere. I wanted to give chat the ability to write fan fiction and do silly things with characters that I, or Krusnik within our lore, may not necessarily be comfortable with. But I can make up a person, and I can make up a design, and I can give that to you, and I can say, there you go. There's the milkman that you can draw impreg of. There you go, you can have that. Or the lovely couple that runs the diner. Or the gaggle of witches that run the local library. Or the strange puffball creature that's the mayor. Nobody knows who voted for him. Any advice? Ooh. Difficult one. Difficult one. But in the terms of giving encouragement, I think it's appropriate. I think this is appropriate for an ASMR stream. Allow me to encourage some good practices for a moment. In general, these are good practices, but sometimes allowing yourself to find your center can help in other ways. There's a lot of different ideas all over the place about how energy or life or just the flow of the body can get blocked. You can have these physical blockages that arise. In Western medicine, we usually think of it as the lymphatic system, something that's very easily inflamed, something that helps purge toxins from the body in the way that the body does naturally. And generally, when you kind of get this crunchy sensation when you move, you might have blockages in your lymphatic system, or you might just need to kind of give everything a little bit of a boost. So what I like to do, I like to wiggle a little bit at first, Rock my head from side to side. Do little circles. Kind of do the same for the shoulders and the upper back, the neck, going all the way down the lower back into the hips, giving your legs a little wiggle. Breathing deeply all the while. And now, before we get into the posture check and hydrate that Genie redeemed over 10 minutes ago, because I am getting very fucking distracted today. Kind reminder to stay hydrated. Or would you kindly drink some water? And breathe deeply. My advice when it comes to writer's block does, I believe, apply to many a creative block. I don't just write. I've also found drawing to be something that I've enjoyed a lot and helps stimulate me creatively. Sometimes I build abstract things and kind of visualize weird ideas, metaphysically and physically. I have a lot of sensory stuff. Like, I very easily have phantom sensation. Sometimes it's not great. But it happens. I know that other people can experience these things. Sometimes it does take an extra level of focus that it might not necessarily take me, but sometimes getting into my feelings helps a lot. What is wrapped itself around my mind so intensely that for some reason I cannot do this thing that I enjoy. For some reason I cannot engage with, I cannot stimulate myself, I cannot feel and express this. What's causing this block? Because self-expression is a very important thing. And in the same way as being blocked from being able to present ourselves in the way that feels comfortable to us, many of an artist experience the same sensation when they cannot express the ideas that are within them. It creates the sense of frustration, this feeling of trapped. It can be a lot. But I remind myself that the reason that I create is to put an extension of my soul into a physical form. It's a part of me in a way that nothing else that comes from me could be. It's thought through, it's passionate, it digs deep into something. When I want that, I let myself feel. I cry to songs that have incredibly powerful emotional ties, deep set memories. I push myself sometimes a little bit, walk for a little bit extra until my legs ache and my feet hurt. Sometimes I do something that I know that I'm bad at, and I face that fear of being bad at something. Sometimes that's what it takes, is pulling the emotion out of yourself, forcefully. It's all about digging deep, right? You have to get your hands into the mess that is your insides. Ultimately, that's what art is, no matter what context it's in. Paintings, drawings, music, writing, anything. It's all a part of you. Another thing that can be very, very enjoyable and very stimulating for the artistic development is doing something that is just so depravedly self-indulgent. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes drawing impreg of a milkman character. Sometimes that's enough to stimulate the artistic emotions. And on that, my precious dust bunnies, I do apologize. We have an ad break up. Please take some time to take care of yourself, and we will be back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Hi. Hi. Did you like the advice? I hope it's helpful to anybody who tries it. I hope it's very helpful. Man, that has just been a delight having that on in the background. That has been delightful. Creativity really is a beautiful thing. Emotions are classed as unquantifiable, yet here we have art. Exactly, exactly. If there were ever a physical version of a meta concept, that is art. That is art. In the terms of philosophy, a meta concept is something that may or may not technically be real. It is simply an observation of something. So, there is things like the soul. We can't necessarily disprove that a soul exists, but we also can't prove that it exists either, because the way that we thought about it and quantified it from the start was kind of metaphysically in the first place, you know. So it's this thing that can't quite be put together. These intense emotions of things expressed in something that takes time. Not only does it take time to formulate the piece, whatever it may be, it takes time to learn how to do it. It is the extension of the person mentally, physically, and spiritually. There is an immense amount of value in art that is made by people, especially with compassion in their hearts. So there's a book called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. The author argues that you should treat art as a 9 to 5 and that artists shouldn't wait for inspiration to come, but rather should sit down and work, and that inspiration will come naturally. When do you start the work? I can see the methodology working for some people, and I've definitely met people that do, in essence, just do art for work. They find great passion in creating something for specific projects under specific metrics and ideas, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that at all. I don't think there's any less value to art that is created with the specific intention of like going and being as another part of something, or say going to your concept art team and saying we want a world that looks like XYZ, that feels like XYZ, that plays with this vibe of XYZ, you know? I don't think that there's anything less valuable about that, because those artists are still using their artistic ability to very deeply channel those specific ideas and emotions and vibes and everything, you know? So I can definitely see it working for some people. I can tell you, honestly, there's a lot of factors that may not necessarily make that the most pragmatic for a lot of other people. I found out that it's not pragmatic for me, mostly because, due to a lot of internal and external factors, matching up to that 9 to 5 is fairly difficult. It's fairly difficult. I wish I was significantly better at it, but I also wish my health was significantly better than it is. It's a multi-layered kind of thing there. So for me, if I'm being completely transparent, that kind of thing does not work, unfortunately, and it generates instead within me a very uncomfortable sense of guilt of not being able to meet these expectations. Instead, what I personally do, and again, whatever works for you is what works for you. There is no bad method to creating as long as you feel stimulated and you feel emboldened and impassioned. Nothing wrong with that. For me, I do have to force myself to get out of my head. All of the bad ways about the way that I think are not brought on by external factors. They are brought on by demons that I have inside me. And so ultimately, as a part of my personal problems, that's something that I have to face. And creatively, they are things that stand in my way. They tell me that creating is not worth it, that putting something out there, there's no point in it, nobody would ever see it. Even if they did care, why? Why any of it? And I have to respond to those negative voices. Because I exist. And I'm going to continue to exist. And if by God I'm going to exist in the world, I'm going to leave something. I have to leave something. And that's when I do the the deep emotional digging. That's when I do that practice personally. That's when I sit with myself and I get in tune with the part of me that's actually me. Not the demons, not the sickness. What is me? What are the things that I care about? What are the themes that I want to play with? What are the ideas that I want to explore? Do I want to challenge myself tactically? Do I want to explore these different things and try to apply my skill and learn something new? Or do I just want to let the idea flow? And in whatever way that it flows, work on it. Let myself flow until I get to a certain point and kind of review. What have I made? Do I like it? Do I think that it has potential? Do I let myself have potential? Anything in the terms of creativity is going to have deep emotional resonance, even within yourself. Let yourself feel those emotions. If you can compartmentalize and it's easier for you to work it in a 9 to 5 kind of a way, more power to you. That sounds really efficient. Sorry. More power to you. That sounds very efficient. I wish I could. But we're all different in that way. So if you find different methods that work for you, give them a try. Don't be afraid to change things up either, depending on how you're feeling. Discipline is a good skill to learn, but not if it burns into self-deprecation. Just keep that in mind. But does that qualify as theistic religions as followers of a meta concept? In essence, yes. We should always consider the aspects that different religions and spiritualities are intrinsically intertwined in the cultures that they came from as well. We learn not just about spiritualism, we learn about the philosophy of these spiritualities and different parts of history from these different places. It's always important to have grace intact, I think, when talking about it, though technically as a, I guess, atheist agnostic, I just don't really identify with it, because I respect a lot of religions and spiritualities. I think they're very cool, and I'm very hyper interested in the occult. And by God, given the opportunity, I would absolutely try to summon a demon on stream. You know, I myself, the way that I have to quantify things is that a lot of these ideas that are talked about in spirituality and religion are meta concepts. They're stuff that we can neither prove nor disprove, but different tales and myth in these different cultures revolves around these stories and potentially trying to quantify very complicated historical events. So, you know. We got told this in film school for script writing, worked for some, headache for others. Definitely can be a headache for others. Sometimes you have to let creativity flow. And motivation is a very complicated thing for a lot of people. We tend to tie a lack of motivation to a lack of passion. But there's a lot of things that can get in the way. Again, sometimes there are external factors that influence the internal voices and tell us, what's the point? Can't you see what's going on outside? What's the point? What do we tell the voices? What is the why of it? Because I have chosen that there will be a tomorrow. That's why. Most haunted building in America. Ooh, oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. I do like the idea of doing haunted house tours, like legitimate historical haunted house tours. I do think that that sounds like a lot of fun. 1, you get to see some very interesting architecture. 2, whew, the spooky vibes. I mentioned phantom sensation being a thing earlier. With phantom sensation, I am very susceptible to suggestibility of, like, spooky aura, if that makes sense. In, like, whenever I'm... What is the word I want to use? Experiencing art, There you go, yeah, that works. Like when I saw Iron Lung this past weekend. When I am experiencing art, no matter what, even if I think it's terrible, even if I think it's terrible, like the Fallout show, my heart is constantly reaching out to see where the meat in something that's been made by human beings is. Because there's always going to be something. Somebody in some part of the project is going to have immense passion for, even if it's just what they're doing specifically. And you can sniff it out the more tuned you are to it. I really like getting fully immersed in something in the way that it wants me to be. If it still doesn't hit, like if it still doesn't sell the vibe that it's trying to go for, I'll usually consider it a wash. Wow, it's already using my new vocabulary word. I will usually consider it a wash at that point, and I don't hate watch things. If I don't enjoy stuff, I don't engage with it. I don't make like disliking something a part of my personality. Talking about the Fallout TV show. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Hot dog water. But there are some bits in there that I like. And ultimately, because they've taken an immense amount of inspiration from New Vegas, and it is impossible to separate the concept of hope from what New Vegas is as a story, it still has that themes of it. It still has themes of hope in the wasteland, even if that wasteland is horribly Looney Tunes slapstick style. Still have hope in it. Something about that is nice. I haven't seen the second. Oh, I won't spoil anything for the second season then for you. I think both are pretty trash. But there is passion somewhere in there. Statistically speaking, there are some very genuine Fallout fans on the team of people who are making the show, because it's not a tiny team. It is not a small group of people. And Bethesda has a very large hand in a lot of things that are happening, so you cannot tell me that there are not people who are passionate about Fallout, whatever their internal image of what Fallout is. If, at the heart of it, we can say that it's to have hope against insurmountable odds, I can't hate it in its entirety. There were a few things that happened that I thought were really stupid, though. I'm like, damn, that was a fun theme to play with. I wish it was in a better show. I think season 3, from the cliffhanger ending that we got for season 2, not cliffhanger, it was like setting stuff up. From the setup that we got, I think season 3 will be very interesting, because I think they're pulling back from everything that we're familiar with, and they're going to try to write something that is entirely theirs, which is what you're supposed to do with Fallout. Movie critique perspective, think Rotten Tomatoes. I fucking hate Rotten Tomato reviews. I fucking hate those. But okay. I don't usually like trying to be like a film critic. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't like having that hat on. But if I were to, cinematography of the show overall shows potential. However, the cinematography is only allowed to shine due to the immense amount of work and passion that goes into the set design. There are multiple moments where you can see that the set is allowed for significant more movement, significant more dynamic shots, and instead the cinematographer chose something that was more simple, a little less aggressive to the audience, a little less in your face. Fairly straightforward. Not necessarily bad, just common. Nothing really fun is done in the terms of the cinematography, but there is potential there. As mentioned, set design I think is genuinely where everything shines the most. Costumes is the next one underneath that. Some of the costumes, as a more of a nod to Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, this is just a very gross, trashy world. And I don't mean lowbrow. It's actually surprising how few lowbrow jokes there are. Which I think is admirable. They had a few times to do something just kind of like gross and lowbrow, and they didn't. They went with something that was slightly more tame. In the terms of everything is just really gross, and there is not just trash, like debris everywhere. In line with Fallout 3 and 4, there's like piles of garbage all over the place. And I have to tell you, people, when they do not have a centralized form of waste disposal, find a way. They find a way. They do not just keep rotting piles of garbage all over the place and wear rotting, tattered rags. People find a way. But kind of the whole point of the show is to look really extra fucked up and gross. They're taking images of things that we're familiar with, like the beautiful, prosperous NCR and gorgeous, immaculate, well-kept Strip New Vegas, and just making it really gross. It is an intentional design choice, so it's not necessarily bad, but in the terms of Fallout theming, I'm not a fan of it. References throughout the show to the games are actually relatively few and far between, rather than having a more fanfiction-esque adaptation of the characters. The show itself also cannot seem to decide on how much of what we are familiar with is canon and simply what settings we are playing with. So on the whole, you have to assume that this is a completely contained universe that is not based on any previous canon of the games, simply taking set pieces and some characters from it. Fanfictioning. Once you've established that, you can establish whether you think it's bad or good, because then it's, you know, how well is it executing? Is the fanfiction actually, like, just, you know, what did I say, degenerately self-indulgent earlier? You can have stuff like that, and that's perfectly fine, honestly. I think a really good example of that... Oh, what's that? There's a few really good examples of that, honestly. Something that is just purely self-indulgent fan service and good. You can't have both. I don't think it lands here, because the thing that resonates with fans of the games is the themes, you know? And how much the themes are committed to. Again, so far to the point that there are some people that think that there are merits for Caesar's Legion and do not understand the position that you have to be in to be able to say that and think that that's not immediately suspect to multiple different groups of people. Okay, you can say that you're fine with the NCR. What the fuck ever. You cannot say that you are okay with any aspect of Caesar's Legion. Oh, Marksy, have you not played the games at all? Oh. Well, that would very heavily influence the perspective that you develop for the show. I can imagine that. Well then. Non-spoilery. They're a faction that shows up in the 4th installment of the series, being Fallout New Vegas, that was made by Obsidian. That was the game that was made before Fallout 4, and everybody says is like the best Fallout game in the series. Have you played any of the other games? Only 3 and 4. Okay. So to be fair, to be fair, I do think that if you are a fan of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, the TV show itself it's right on the money. It's Bethesda Fallout. It's wacky, it's slapstick, it's kind of like you're at an amusement park, and nothing is too challenging. Okay, so if you want a comparison of how a design of art can carry a certain level of theming in it inherently, especially based on the, like, how do I want to say it? How do I want to say it? Oh, Sporfin, do you mean your username? I can't tell you for certain, but welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. Mine? I like Panty and Stocking, the anime. It's really good. And Raven is just my name. Nothing too complicated, but welcome in. Marksy is cool people, so I always assumed that it was parody. I always assumed that it was parody because Marksy seems to be cool people. It's fine to have parody, but also welcome in. Hope you're having a lovely night. Kind reminder that this is an ASMR stream, and I would prefer it if nobody gets weird about anything. Hello. We're currently listening to myself descend into madness talking about Fallout. So a particular game design aspect that is fairly different between Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas that does illustrate a certain level of the game design philosophy that went into it is the aspect of the combat. Now, obviously, anything that is survival based, which is a very pure way to play the Fallout games, is as if you are surviving in the wasteland. In Fallout 3, which is different than the first two games, the enemies all scale in level to you. That's a pretty big difference between the very hardcore, hard lines at difficulty of the first two games, Fallout 1 and 2, which were developed by, wait, was it Obsidian? No, what did they go by at the time? Or am I might be Mandeling myself. Damn it, girl. What was it that I said whenever you first came in? What was it that I said whenever you first came in? Wasn't it something along the lines of, like, well, Twitch also has the... You know what? I'm not gonna make a joke about it tonight. I'm already playing risky business talking about Fallout in any way, shape, or form. Equal representation of all sides of the political spectrum. That's what Fallout New Vegas is. Actually, Marksy, you might really like Fallout New Vegas because of that reason. All sides of the political spectrum. So for an example, in the first game, the first time that you meet a Deathclaw, you are walking through the remnants of Los Angeles. You even come across an area that is referred to as the LA Boneyard, which is very cool. In this area, not only are there multiple violent gangs fighting for territory and resources, there's also the Gun Runners, a effective clan of individuals that focus on not recovering old weaponry, but manufacturing new weaponry in the apocalypse. So they've built up infrastructure for this kind of thing, and have also developed ways of getting the things that they make to the people that purchase them. What, did you feel bugginess, and did it impact the game experience negatively? No, actually, I've never had a problem with it. I don't know, maybe it's because my computer is like a magical potato. It can run stuff pretty fine. Never really had a problem with it. I might have a problem if I try to stream it just because it's a lot of things running at once, but not really. And even if performance mods are very, very easy to get for it. And very smooth. They're very smooth. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool like mods for New Vegas as well. Magical Potato. Indeed, Loops Morgan. Welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. I have a computer that's technically like several years out of date, but it is still kicking. Still kicking, and it can pull off some pretty impressive feats on the occasion. Thank you for the follow though as well. I hope you are having a lovely, lovely night. We're talking about Fallout because I feel like it. Magic Potato emote. Really? What a coincidence. What a coincidence. So when you get to the LA Boneyard, you start to hear stories about... Wait, no, I'm skipping ahead. The first time that you come across a Deathclaw, you hear stories of this trader caravan that keeps going missing, and the man who sends you out. Initially, he's skeptical that it could be some kind of creature. But as you dig a little bit deeper and you push him to reveal his anxieties, he confides in you in shaky, whispered breath. He has no idea what it could be, but he's heard whispers. Tales of some giant monster, claws as sharp as razors, render flesh from bone like a hot knife through butter. It's horrifying, and no one has lived to see it. That, or somehow all of the caravans are just going rogue around this area. And so you investigate. Deep into a cave, a monster lurks. Horns that signifies Satan crawled himself out of hell to terrorize the wasteland. And it wrecks you in 2 turns. Given the position that most players are in when they come across this particular quest, you are nowhere near prepared for a Deathclaw. It is a product of the harsh wasteland, and the first 2 Fallout games were developed very specifically with a more nihilistic worldview to them. People are simply, human beings are simply pulled to conflict and war. It is our nature. Fallout 3, which doesn't really pose any kind of moral quandary about any of that. Instead, in its combat system, has level scaling, which means that the enemies level with you, no matter what kind of enemy they are, whether they are rad scorpions, common raiders, or deathclaws. They all level scale, so nothing in particular feels too easy or too difficult. And if a lot of people who have played Fallout 4 remember, that game opens up with giving you a suit of power armor nearly right off the bat, and sending you into the face of a Deathclaw that you kill fairly easily. The most powerful thing in the wasteland is laid before you to be nothing more than bullet fodder. These things tell us very distinctive ideas about the design of the game from a gameplay philosophical standpoint. What is the game trying to illustrate? Video games are art. They are made by people. There is no possible way to excise humans' bias from something that they make. So, what, pray tell, is the point? What is the why of it? Fallout New Vegas does not just pose that question, on a scale against itself, on a scale against the games themselves, it poses it in its own narrative. The why of it is a foundation to Fallout New Vegas' storytelling, understanding what it is. And sometimes, when you break down somebody's philosophies enough, you find out that these are justifications made after the fact for actions that they have taken. You find out that there is no greater political philosophy. There is only the desire for war. And you have to question if a group of people like that truly does exist, and all they seek is to do harm. What action should you, a free person, which is what the courier is, free to make choices, free to face the consequences of one's actions. Oh, the cosmic horror, the consequences of your own actions. You are free to do that. And if you are free to do that, free in a way that nobody else is, what do you do when you are faced with objective evil? Do you stand by and simply let it do what evil does? Or do you stand up against it in whatever form it takes? Sometimes making shaky alliances with other people that you may not fully agree with, but we can all agree what the real evil is. Oh, thank you, Marksy. Thank you. All improv, technically, if you want to think of it like that. I told you guys I'm a writer. It's what I do. The funny part is, I don't actually like the sound of my own voice. I hate my voice, but everybody else in chat seems to like it. So, I have lots of thoughts and feelings about things. It's Panzer. I'm actually not sure either. Thank you, Marksy. Thank you. Thank you. I think that's the most, like, encapsulating compliment I've ever gotten of what I try to do. Maybe the inner soul's player in me, but I love worlds that are different to the protagonist and much more unforgiving. Exactly. Exactly. I still genuinely think that Fallout New Vegas encapsulates those ideas. It is the idea... Oh, man. Actually... I gotta tell you, which, by the way, thank you, lazy soul. That is quite the coincidence that you followed at that moment, but welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely night. What words was I saying? I believe Soulsborne games, I think a foundation of those games is hope as well, because it's about overcoming and perseverance. Again, you as the player, when given the opportunity to laugh death in the face, are given the opportunity to persevere, even if it means bashing your head against a wall 1,000 times, even if it means dying 1,000 times. How many times will you get back up and say, do it again? Is tomorrow guaranteed? Will you make tomorrow a guarantee? There is something incredibly hopeful about Soulsborne games, even in the face of their cruel and indifferent worlds. I think that's what makes them so compelling, personally. And the fact that that idea is absolutely... What is happening? So I've remembered the world through the grit rather than... Exactly. You, the player, have to make the choice to pursue what you want. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend my stream if you are under the influence of different things. I would also say that coming into somebody's stream and telling them how they should conduct themselves with community members that they are familiar with, I do not allow that kind of thing. And as stated before, it is clear that Mark C has proven themselves that this is a fun, satirical kind of thing. I would recommend not telling a streamer what to do. I would recommend not coming in and trying to make intentional disruptions during things. That's what I would recommend. Fun fact, Dark Souls 2 is actually where I got my username from. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. His character's name and my friend said it suited me over 10 years later. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. I do like stuff that's like that. I do like stuff that's like that. It's funny that I do go by TheRavenAnarchy and that Fallout New Vegas is one of my favorite games. It's not exactly for the reasons that you might think, honestly. Again, I chose the last name because I like the anime panty and stocking. Hey, it's all good. Hey, it's all good. Contextualization that you're a little bit out of it. I understand. Take a deep breath. Center yourself. If you are partaking of anything tonight, if you are partaking of anything tonight, make sure to practice proper self-care and responsibility when indulging. Get some water, get some food, take care of yourself. I'm gonna, hey guys, I gotta take care of something. 1 second. 1 second. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Sorry, I should have done that sooner. I should have done that sooner. Sorry about that. For the record, if anybody does ever like come in and starts making you guys uncomfortable first, and I'm giving them a little bit more leeway than I should, to the people who have been here and are a part of the community, you can absolutely voice discomfort. Sorry, I did not do that sooner. I should have. I had a feeling it was from that anime, right? I'm glad I give off the right vibes. Dragon butts and bed of chaos. What's not to love? Is it Dark Souls 2 that has Guinevere as well? Big lady. Big lady. Good stuff. Good stuff. Dark Souls 1, never played the remaster, but I enjoyed it more than 2 and 3. I've heard that seems to be the consensus, even for like the original one. And or they're both Dark Souls 1? Hold on, wait. Anor Londo. 1 second. Oh, that's the blood. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. I'm a Bloodborne nerd. Seek the old blood in Yarnum. I'm more of a Bloodborne person, personally. Nothing against the Dark Souls stuff, because I do love gothic medieval fantasy-inspired things. Bloodborne, just like the Victorian, the Lovecraft, it got me. It got me. There's the love addiction. Rachel couldn't play for more than 30 minutes. Aww. That awful orange for miles. Oh dear. I wish I had opinions about this. I'm so glad that chat all can share it, though. I'm glad all of you can share in this. I'll catch up and try to see if I can, you know, keep my head straight. You did jinx each other in chat. How did you do that? How did you do that? That's excellent. That's excellent. Dark Souls 1 is simple in a good way. Like, the difficult is just right. Dark Souls 3, there's just too many crowds. I have no idea. It's so cool to see so many people with so many opinions about it. That should not be surprising. That should not be surprising. It's like Vampire the Masquerade fans. We're all secretly Malkavians, every single one of us. We just might think that we're a little bit more artsy, like, oh, I'm a Toreador. Oh, I have business acumen, I should be a venture. It's like, no, you're all fucking Malks, every one of you. Every one of you. Nicholas? Yes? What's up? I was just about to drink more of my tea, but I will drink some water. Thank you for the reminder, Lazy. If you see the word parry in real life. I do. I do. How was I supposed to know? I thought that was just a you thing, specifically. But I had seen a lot of the memes. Of course I've seen a lot of the parry memes. I still love the... Remember, ladies, if instead of pulling out, you parry at exactly the right moment, you can get him pregnant instead. Excellent. Excellent content. I'm a scrub who uses sphere and great shield purely do what you gotta do. I think sometimes a part of it is like, especially if you're playing a game that likes to rage bait you a little bit, is to rage bait back a little bit. I think that's fair. See, I have no idea what any of this means, yet I'm so entertained that everybody is brought together by it. I can yak about Bloodborne. I can yak about Bloodborne effectively, endlessly. I don't know if I should, though. I don't know if I should, though. I might get tired out, actually. There's so much. It's very impressive. It's very impressive, genuinely. I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine trying to parry other players. Over delay it all. I read something and I should not have. Hey, would you like an interesting fact of today? Apparently the word of the day is washed, but would you like the fact of today? I was reminded about how cool this is. A blood flow is an outflow of iron oxide, painted plume of salt water, flowing from the tongue of Taylor Glacier onto the ice-covered surface of West Lake Boney in Taylor Valley of the McMurdo Dry Valleys in Victoria Land, East Antarctica. Iron-rich, hypersaline water sporadically emerges from small fissures in the ice cascades. The saltwater source is subglacial pool of unknown size overlain by about 400 meters of ice, or 1,300 feet. Several kilometers from this tiny outlet at Blood Falls. The reddish deposit was first found in 1911 by Australian geologist Thomas Griffin Taylor, who first explored the valley that bears his name. The Antarctica pioneers first attributed the red color to algae, but later it was proven to be due to iron oxides. There is a specific place in the world where it looks like that blood is just flowing out of glaciers. It is the most iron lung ass thing I have ever seen, and I was very happy to be reminded that it existed. It looks super cool. You should totally look it up. There's not a bunch of pictures of it, unfortunately, but there are a few that are quite stunning. Okay, fine, I'll link the picture. I can just show off the Wikipedia article. It's not that hard for me to do. Hold on. I'll show you. I'll stop being lazy. Unfortunately, that is what it is. I am just a little bit lazy. There you go. There you go. Pairing PvP feels tough, feels so good. Mosslings, you're now in it too. Is everybody here just big Dark Souls fans? I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I was calling myself lazy. I apologize. I was being self-deprecating instead. I should be more mindful about that. Alright. These are the blood falls. This already just makes it look very gory. You can see the fissure in the ice. It's not that close. There we go. You can see the fissure in the ice with everything is coming out from, even if the iron deposits are like much further under. It just breaks out and washes over this beach that mostly looks like black sand, which is like extra cool looking. Should we make a Dark Souls channel on the Discord? How do I exit this page? Oh, okay. Should we make a Dark Souls chat on the Discord? If you guys are really interested in it and want a place to talk about it, I want to make sure you can have that. Oh, here's the chart of how all of this works. We have the subglacial ecosystem, the Blood Falls water source, and then the bedrock that separates that source and Lake Bonny itself. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? And it shows right over here which part of the Antarctic that it's located on. I think that's pretty sick. I think that's pretty sick. Mother Earth got into it. No, sorry, Gaia got into a tussle with, if it's iron oxide deposit, there could be like some kind of. Hold on, let me. Yeah, there is a sulfur reaction taking place. Low sulfate. You could attribute Gaia and some kind of creature from the underworld fighting with each other, or a child of Gaia that comes from the underworld trying to tear its way out through her, like Artemis outside of the skull of Zeus. Not Artemis, that was Athena. Minimal effort, maximum carnage. Nothing feels better than. Okay, so I have to assume that all of you have seen the animation Happy Souls. If you tell me no, I am going to cry. I have to assume that you have all seen the animation Happy Souls. If you are this excited to talk about Dark Souls, you better. You better. Why does everybody keep stabbing me in the back? 'Cause it's easy. And it does a lot of damage. We all know. We've been knowing. We have been knowing. Maximum carnage, said exactly like a Bloodborne player. Said exactly like a Bloodborne player. Reload, welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely night. I think we'll be ending at like 3 hours today. I did wake up at 4 a.m. and it is 9 p.m. now. I don't think I'm gonna go to sleep right after stream. I think I'm going to stay awake and I'm going to make bomb-ass chicken noodle soup. I'm gonna do it because I got the chicken today and I don't want it to go bad, and I have a bad habit of letting things go bad. So I'm gonna make some really good chicken noodle soup tonight. I should have had a monster during stream. That's what I should have done. I will have to come back to the chat of this stream to pick up stuff about where to, of different strats. I'll have to use different strats whenever I get into Dark Souls stuff. Rivers of Blood Katana. Oh, there is a weapon in there. I'm not surprised. Where does the iron come from? The iron comes from a specific deposit below the surface, and there's a chemical reaction that takes place. I have to assume because sulfur is involved in the chemical reaction that there is a certain amount of molecular separation that occurs. So the iron oxide could be pulling away from another chemical source that's there. That's my speculation about it. Rivers of Blood was a lazy but accurate choice. I was just going with Iron Lung. Gaia and Thanatos had a potential potent disagreement. Gaia is one of the Titans. I completely forgot about that. Gaia is one of the OG Titans. Oh, duh, it would be Thanatos. Duh. No one expects Where did he go? No one expects you to parry with a huge sword. They should expect it, though. Does this feature Giant Dad? I have no idea. I have no idea. Which Giant Dad? Dark Sauce, it's another brilliant animation. I will have to watch it. I have a particular affinity for Happy Souls because of the little crow man that they release from the cage. He's just, I've got boss weapons. Boss weapons. Right down the road. Right down the road. There's also just, I think Happy Souls is genuinely one of the most funny things. Like, it's consistently funny without having any context of Dark Souls 2. It is consistently funny on its own merit. That's why I like it. Man, this tree makes a funny sound when I hit it. Aww. I love it. It's just so good. It's just so funny. Therapist had to reschedule me. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope everything is going okay, Reload. Welcome in regardless, though. When you go Dark Souls with your mates by the plural. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, wait. Is that the one? Oh, or is that a separate one? I do know that one. I do know that one because that also has the giant crow or raven creature that does the dance alongside them. That one is really cute. Oh my god. Bloodborne fan just watches all of the Dark Souls memes. One of my favorites was the custom one, Unga Bunga %, which means no armor, club large, club great, club only, no rings, no magic, any percent. See, you can persevere against all odds, even when being a lot of bit slapstick. You can. It's possible. The quantum horror and the quantum hope. It's bigger than you. My strat is simple, quality build with a parry shield or a stam regen shield. This will allow you many options in any Souls-like. Interesting. Interesting. I like weapons that are inspired by the moon. I didn't get the one that was in Lies of P because I'm stupid. I get to give myself shit for this one. It was very stupid. It was the first like 3D Souls-like that I had played, because I had played stuff like Momodora and a few other kind of like Souls-inspired 2D roguelikes and stuff like that. Those are a lot of fun. Those are a lot of fun. More people should play them. But Lies of P was the first one that I had played like that specifically, and I did something really fucking stupid. I got rid of the thing that I needed for the sword, and I was so mad. I was so mad. Not unless all of the AI stuff suddenly explodes and I can afford a new computer magically. Or may we be blessed with a patron of vast, deep pockets that are not soaked in blood. May we be blessed by a patron of the arts that simply wishes to see new, wonderful, horrible things created from my mind. And then maybe I will get a new PC. Maybe. Who knows? Excuse me. Oh, the Momodora games are lovely, and Moss Lanes. Taking a wild guess here. They've got a lot of cute ladies in there. I think you would greatly appreciate it. I think you would greatly appreciate it. I'm not assuming anything. I think you would appreciate the cute ladies that are in there. Claymore, I love that little fella. I'm very good at clocking my audience. I'm very good at clocking my audience. Blood recognizes blood. Oh my god. Okay, one. We have to turn that into a channel thing. Blood recognizes blood. But that's because Bruce Campbell commended Iron Lung on Twitter, and what he said specifically was, glad to see that Moxie still works. I love Bruce Campbell. Love him. I love Evil Dead. I love it. Blood recognizes blood. And unfortunately, on that, everybody, we have an ad break. Please do take some time to take care of yourself. I know this has been a very willy-nilly kind of ASMR stream, but please do take care of yourself, as it is oh so important to do so. We'll be back in just a moment. Even if you don't get ads, take some time to self-care. Water, get some food, do what you need to do for you for a moment, and we will be back in just a moment. Welcome back from the break, everybody. Sorry that that one is a little bit longer than our last one. Rusnik has gone off to bed for the night. That doesn't mean he's not going to still be in chat, but if you see him, you're supposed to say, "Go to bed, Rusnik. Go to bed. You have work in the morning." Welcome back, everybody. Mildly, hi. Hi. I'm at work, gonna enjoy your lurk mildly. I hope you're having fun. You're back in Japan, right? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I know it's been long enough after the holidays. Should be obvious, but still. Are we having a good time so far? Okay. We're back. We're back. I had to fix something. So for our last little while that we are together, for the last little bit while we are together, I will be putting on more of the ASM artist. I think we've spoken quite encouragingly about a lot of things tonight. So I think now is the time to let us actually relax. We've let everything out. We've breathed, we've reorganized. I won't mind if you all still talk about Dark Souls. I won't mind. If I don't know what's being talked about, though, I hope everybody has fun. Came to sleep and ended up talking about Souls games. I'm so sorry, Lacey. Unfortunately, that does happen with our streams. It is the yappening. It is the yappening. I think we just yap about stuff a lot. Like, I could apply the same sort of combat analysis that I did to the Fallout series, to the Soulsborne games. That's something that I can talk about a lot. A lot. And thank you for the reminder to stay hydrated, Lazy. If everybody would take a moment to hydrate, I would appreciate it. Would you kindly take care of yourself? See, I told you we'd still be lurking. Would you kindly take care of yourself? Now you see, I should have disabled those. I see the error of my ways. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, we love Fallout in this house. I was talking about it quite a bit earlier in regards to the show. Because I like stuff even if it's bad. And I gotta be honest with you, I think the show is pretty bad. There's a lot of really stupid things in it so far. But with the way that season 3 is set up, I think that the writers are gonna be able to do actually whatever they want without having to pay homage to anything that's come before, which was a lot of what season 1 and 2 were. Favorite dexterity weapons. I like the knife and Lies of P that goes step, 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 step. Step, 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 step. I think season 3 will actually be good. It does suck that we had to get through the first 2 seasons where we could see the potential for things without it getting anywhere near realized. But season 3 I think might actually be interesting. Barker, welcome in, wow. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. You got burger on the brain again today. Do you always want burgers? Or have you not gotten one and you're just really still feeling the craving? Hell yeah, then. Always burger. I can't blame you, I'm always Taco Bell. Like Tom Howard is trying to be. I think, because realistically, just like how a lot of people play the games, the Bethesda Fallouts are just in their own little world. And the other Fallouts, 1, 2, and New Vegas, are in the really cool one. And that's just how it is. The show is in its own weird, abstract, slapstick fan canon. However, like many a different role-playing setting, these stories lend themselves not to being strictly adhered to, though having a respect for what came before is important. What I think is significantly more fun is taking the template, taking the themes, taking the je ne sais quoi of art, and doing something that is entirely new with it. A previous Fallout project, as an example, was going to do something very interesting. Now, this project did not get made, but it got fairly far in its development. The way that the game was going to play was that it was going to take place in Texas. Somewhere very, very different than the California wasteland of the first two. It would take place sometime after the second game, making further sense that there would be more spread from the area, super mutants as the example being one of them, Deathclaws appearing as well, but a fantastic array of new creatures brought on by the change in topography. The idea, if I recall correctly, was that the antagonist of the story was going to be a ghoul trying to access an orbital satellite to release a bioweapon on the world. Not too dissimilar from Fallout 2 with what the Enclave's plan was. But he was a ghoul and had experimented on other ghouls and had created ones that could regenerate. And there were a variety of very interesting little ideas that they wanted to play with. The Texan super mutant sheriff ranger, that was pretty cool in my opinion. Another Fallout that was supposed to take place a little bit more towards the ocean, coastward, had an enemy that was a giant mutated... Oh, what are they called? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the name of them. It's the rainbow shrimp. What are those guys called? It was very cool because the idea was that it could shatter power armor with the like pressurized air attack that it had. People took the basis of Fallout and simply put it in a new place and played with the same themes. Anything that's role-playing, I think, is lent better to that kind of game design philosophy. It's not making sure that the lore or the rules are stringently adhered to. about the themes and how they carry through in new settings. I did like how they portrayed the NCR in the Fallout show. I have to agree. It feels very NCR. It feels very NCR. We won't spoil anything since the last episode of the second season came out today. Very, very NCR, I must say. There's the heavy thrusting sword, the one that throws the enemy in the air. Dark Souls 1, Uchi, Dark Souls 2, Twin Blade, Dark Souls 3. Oh, sorry, you're listing things. Dark Souls 1, Uchi, Dark Souls 2, Twin Blade, Dark Souls 3, Onigiri, and Ubidachi, or Dark Drift, Elden Ring, any of the great katanas, Lies of P, 2 Dragon Sword, though Gunblade is cool as hell, Bloodborne, Chikage, or Stake Driver. Oh, that makes sense for you, Nicholas. That makes a lot of sense. I think that might be the one that he means. Hold on. Hold on. The Great Yippee. This does look like a sword that he would play with in the game. This does look like it. Only thing that bugged me was the insert. It was out of place. It was very goofy. I must say as well, it is very goofy because the NCR has their own styles of power armor that show up in New Vegas. Again, funky, dumb choice. Funky, dumb choice. The point is because, you know, obviously, because we get the theming. The point is that the Rangers don't need power armor. They roleplay and spec into a different kind of build because you do need a particular build to be able to use power armor. There is some stuff that's stupid, but it's also Bethesda that's in control of that project. Things are going to be a little bit stupid and a little bit overtly slapstick. If you go into it with that mindset, you can still have fun with it. And aside from the fact that there are some things that I liked. Undertone of hope to the whole series. You can't, no matter how much you corporatize it, no matter how much you make it palatable to the shareholders, you cannot remove hope from New Vegas. You learn things from art. You learn things from art, even if it's not the intention. That's where critical thinking comes in. You can learn anything from anything. Can't make my bells make the nice little clanging sound. The only one that seems to work consistently is the... Do I need to make a Dark Souls chat in the Discord? I can do that. I can do that if you guys want. I would love for a place for everyone to be able to talk about stuff like that. So I know some people even just go back and play like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 casually, just for fun. Dang it. Hold on. Thank you for the posture check, Lazy. Let's get a little bit more comfy situated. Me too, Nicholas. Me too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me too. Alright. Let's do a body scan. Let's do a nice little guided body scan. If anything creaks or cracks, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You might just be a little crunchy. That's okay. That's okay. We'll work it all out. That's completely understandable. I would rather everybody pay off their own debts anyway. I would much rather that. I'll figure something else out eventually. Eventually. Hey, who knows? Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll put together the 3 short stories and publish that sometime this year, and then be able to make a little money off of that. Who knows? I do, because of both Mildly and Mako, I do have a fairly big Twitch payout coming out this month, and I'm kind of nervous about it. I haven't had this much money in a hot second. I'm like, oh god, what am I going to spend it on? Mostly games. Mostly games to play on stream, because it's money I made through stream, so, you know. Oh. Well, I'm sad about the vet bills, but I'm happy about the extensive snack fund. Always sad about any vet bills, but making up for it with treats is acceptable. Completely acceptable. Again, I would rather you all spend your money on your lovely little animal children, however you think of them. Fur babies, scale babies, glub glub babies. Whatever you got. Whatever you got. I take care of stray cats as much as I can. Working with catch and release programs is a lot. It is a lot. Well, I mean, now if you really want the cute emote, I understand that. I would love to. I would love to. I would love to have a way to play old horror games on the intended hardware. I would love that, truly. Okay, my back cracked in a really funky way when I reached for my lip balm. So we're gonna do a proper posture check. I hope that you've hydrated. We're gonna take a moment and we are going to breathe. Would you kindly breathe with me? You'll breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4, and release for 4. So in practice, on the counts of 4, you will fill up 1/4 of your capacity for air. You will breathe in completely and you will exhale completely. And I'll count you through it. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. This is a good pattern for stabilizing heartbeat. And if you're like me and you get arrhythmia fairly easily, it is a pattern that has a significant scientific backing for helping deal with erratic heartbeats. Don't sell the Magic the Gathering cards. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't anybody do it. I know you may be thinking about it in this economy. Don't do it. You'll be so sad. You'll be so sad. I'm just sad that I'm missing my Magic the Gathering cards from when I was a kid. You've let me know what you've bought a couple of times. What did you get most recently? There was the... You told us about the Miku set, but that one didn't seem very pertinent to your personal collection. Was there... There was like a kitty cat set at one point, if I recall? And then there's the Warhammer crossover, if I'm remembering right. There's been a few different ones. There's been a few different ones that are very cool. Oh, that is cool though. That is cool though. Hey, anything I say about something that seems close to the concept of Zen, I am a material girl in a material world. I do in fact like things. And with knowing how obsessive I am over antiques and fun little nitty-gritty details about them, I can say with 100% confidence after you die, there will be somebody who is very, very interested in preserving the history of Magic the Gathering. I know for certain that there will be people still collecting those long after we are dust. I don't doubt it for a single second. I'm a material girl in a material world, and I know that there are fans greater than me of things that I have. Oh, the Junji Ito set. Or do you just mean Junji Ito, the man, specifically? Oh, he will persevere. He will persevere. I will be the old woman hobbling around the town, reminding everybody to be kind to each other, and Junji Ito will not have aged a day. Back to our body scan. I hope you've been practicing that breathing pattern for a moment. Now that your heartbeat should have stabilized, you should be getting a good amount of oxygen and well-oxygenated blood to the rest of your body. Let's start with breaking up the crunchiness. That might end up with some of your joints popping. Very, very fine and completely normal. So what you're going to do, if you'd kindly, interlace your fingers together and push your palms away from your chest until your arms are extended straight out in front of you. You're going to keep your shoulders low, and you are going to rotate your arms until they are above your head, or as close as can be. If you can't get there, that's fine. If you can, the closer that you get, as long as you keep your shoulders low, you should feel a sort of pressure between your shoulder blades, almost as if your shoulder blades are honing in on that little tiny strip of spine. Some people who have shoulder tension remark that the stretch feels like a little massage, and you can kind of make it a little more massagey. You don't have to push yourself to any kind of a limit. You can kind of just roll the shoulders back and forth, or roll the rotation of your arms back and forth. Crunch stuff up a little bit. And on your inhale, go ahead and place your hands with your fingers still interlocked behind your head, resting with your elbows wide open. Don't do it to where it hurts. Don't do it if it hurts, you goofball. I have fairly flexible shoulders, so I do have to crunch mine fairly far back before I feel it. But I would not want anybody who does not have the same ability to feel bad for that in any way. Everybody's bodies are very, very, very different from each other. Different tensions, different layers of feelings and receptors and everything. Go ahead and release your arms out to a nice T-pose. Again, keeping those shoulders low. Rotate your wrists and your hands until your palms are facing the ceiling. And you are going to bring your hands into what in yoga is called Tadasana. It is the prayer pose. Your palms are together, your fingers are facing the sky, and your elbows pointing out. As you do this, I'd like you to try to push the upper part of your back, starting there, into your chair as you sit at your computer. I have to assume that you're sitting at a computer. If you're laying down, press your shoulders and then your mid-back and your lower back nice and flat. What you should feel is almost as if a string is being pulled taut, and everything down to your tailbone should adjust a little bit. Mine usually, because I overextend my lower back, my tailbone usually rests a little bit more in and the pelvis sits flat. Dare I ask what the sin of Jaeger is? Dare I ask? Welcome in. I do hope that you are having a lovely, lovely night. We're currently working through a very high detail body scan. We've been working on our breathing, focusing there. We're stretching and relieving tension that is in the upper shoulders. And I almost forgot to do something fun. Uh-oh, I might be in trouble if you hunt soon. I might be in trouble. Oh dear. I hope that adds to the ambience, and I can get very close. Thank you to everybody who has joined the community tonight. It is very kind of you. I hope that everybody is doing well. As a very silly little reminder, I have a deal with chat that every 10 followers, I sing a song for you. And with the approaching decibel of 10, that is a big round number that we have never achieved before. I have a very special song that I've been wanting to sing. It might take me a moment to get ready for it. Kind of working on it right now. But if we get there before the end of the night, I promise a very special treat. Your imagination is the most powerful thing. Your imagination is the most powerful thing. And suggestion. Suggestion is also very powerful. The idea is that you can plant in somebody's head, knowing that they're just a little bit more imaginative and will fill in the gaps with whatever they want to, whatever spices their fancy. Especially if you're in my chat. Especially if you're in my chat. We all live in the gutter. Pocket math determined. I appreciate it. We can be silly. We can be silly. This is a Twitch stream, however, and it does not allow salacious content upon the platform. Certain a stretching of that rule may apply every now and again. We can be silly about it, though. Thank you for the reminder to stay hydrated, Nicholas. You don't redeem hydrations very often. So with the insinuation of getting a song, I have to assume I have to assume that this is also piqued interest. Fascinating. Never. I will never stop. One way or another, I will be the voice in the back of your mind. I will be that chill that creeps up your spine in the dark. Whatever that means for you. Mine is supposed to be a spiked collar, but I don't know how to 3D model. Mine is supposed to be a spiked collar as a warning. I do like learning all of the interesting assumptions that people make about me. I have a very interesting take on a lot of stuff like that, but we won't get into that today. Just so happens that most of the time the assumptions that people make about me is very wrong. There was a very apt post that I saw earlier today. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Where was it? Where was it? Oh no, did I not save it? No, I must have. Oh, there it is, there it is. Okay. The post was, and this does not fully encapsulate it, but I hope it gives a better idea. Good girl, but not in the way that you but in the way that you praise a hunting dog after you have it gore something. Not quite that. Not quite that, because I have an aversion to being called that. But you can think of me as a hunting dog. You can think of it like that. Assumptions make an ass out of you, not me. It's quite a lot, and it's quite fascinating. Yes, yes, it does. If it helps at all to contextualize, I exist out of any preconceived dichotomy of anything. Of gender, sexuality, expression of either of those two things. Dichotomies of top or bottom or dom or sub do not apply. I am something entirely different, unquantifiable. Something far, far more cosmic, I think. That does not mean that I do not make bank. You may check out the links that are in our description for further. It's very funny. It's very funny. Man, I could talk about that actually for quite a while. Iconoclast. Wait a minute. That brings something to mind, but I cannot remember exactly. One moment. Person who attacks cherished belief. I didn't say that I attacked it. I simply said that it does not apply to me. I can absolutely with certainty tell you that some people identify better with different roles. To speak more pertinently to the type of entity that I am, if you want a good idea, I suppose everybody is ultimately a bottom when they see tentacles. Ultimately. The typecast iconoclast. I think that's a pretty burning insult, honestly. I should time you out. I would never. You may be assuming things about the environment then. We're very different around here than one might expect. A source of chaos and disruption. Well, that means that you are an acolyte to the chaos. There is a very fun philosophical idea that's played within occultism, and since Omega, you mentioned the fascination with the occult earlier, I'm sure that you are familiar with the dichotomies of the left hand and right hand paths. These are fundamental bases by which we describe the use of magic. The right hand path, which is what most people are familiar with, is that of effectively believing and worshipping the divine and tapping into that divine to exert some kind of control over reality. So, witches who worship particular gods, practitioners that have detailed rituals for their patrons, spiritual practices that are closed for specific people. Things like that would align with the right-hand path. The left-hand path, on the other hand, one that I find significantly more fascinating, is that of the chaos magician. You do not call upon divinity to transmute it through yourself. You, as one of the many interwoven parts of reality, tap into the heart of it and rewrite reality yourself. Usually, the fun that comes with chaos magic is that the intention can be channeled through anything. Through descriptors given by chaos magicians, they enter a meditative state called gnosis. And gnosis allows them to effectively reach into the code of reality. You see the equations, the cosmic equations. You see the rules that reality is written by, more than likely by some infinitely more powerful chaos magician, or by chaos magic itself. And even some very powerful chaos magicians have claimed that they have rewritten massive parts of reality, even within those equations. I am quite a big fan of chaos magic. As far as I could ever tell, the void itself is simply something that exists. It's a part of this reality. It's not a god. It doesn't control anything. It simply is. But I myself, with guided hand and intention. I was not supposed to start playing Silent Hill music, but it did. I hope that's okay. With guided hand, seek to adjust things a little bit. Not entirely sure if it works. Not entirely sure. All I know is that at one point, I stared off into the static. I listened close enough to the dead airwaves, but something in that cosmic pattern made sense to me. And I've never quite been the same since. And now, through my own cosmic repose, I am the host of the radio station 160.4 Cosmic Background Radio. We all find ourselves in such strange places ultimately, don't we? I'm sure many of my Corvid cousins out there understands. Oh, well, now who said that I was a cosmic being? Perhaps I myself am simply an acolyte to something else. Or I am one of the many individuals that make up the beautiful tapestry that is life. There are darker parts to that painting, and there are brighter parts. I exemplify the cosmic horror and the cosmic hope, being able to understand that everything is bigger than me. I know my place in the universe better than most, and I find comfort in that greatly. Cosmic existentialism has never been so dreadful to me, but all the man-made horrors are also well within comprehension. By God, they were made by a man. How complicated can they be? I do like the ASMR streams because I feel like I get to be the radio show host that I'm supposed to be sometimes. And you all seem to like it, which makes me quite happy. Welcome in, Lappin' Sandwich. What kind of sandwich is it? I hope you're having a lovely night. And with that, my lovely dust bunnies, who so kindly keep me company on these long nights at the radio station, in the little haunted town of nowhere, where every member seems to not know how they got here. I thank you so much for your continued support. It does mean a lot to me, especially again on nights like tonight, when I get to express myself in such a unique way. To be seen and received is a very powerful thing. And I don't know if I could ever put into words what your support means to me. But while I catch up with chat, allow me to also prepare our song. And with that, I believe that we will have to call it a night. Can't tell if Jaeger is related to the word choice in Destiny 2 Borderlands. Okay, that's funny, Nicholas. That's funny on multiple levels, and you know that. Prince of Hell for a reason. Oh, that's good. That's good. Which of the princes, though? Who do you identify with the most? What is your 7 deadly sin? Aptly put. Very aptly put. Left-hand path is my personal preference by far. I had a feeling, Omega. I had a feeling. That's what I found mostly is like if you're agnostic or atheist in any kind of way and you just have like a fascinating respect for the occult, you tend to be very left-hand path fascinated. It's very unfortunate that it includes the types of people that it has included so far, but... So sorry, Jaeger. We do things a little bit differently around here. Still thank you for your support. I hope it was fun nonetheless, but please do take the time to take care of yourself and get the rest that you need. Don't forget to get some water. If you have a nice big insulated water bottle, fill it up with cold water before you go to bed so that you can drink just super, super cold water whenever you wake up. It's so nice. Ravens aren't scavengers like most people think. They are simply returning to the natural world, that which no longer is needed. That is very true. That is very true. Ravens are a very special kind of carrion, though most corvids are carrion of some kind, which is that animals that fit into a very specific part of the ecosystem. They digest the rotting carcasses of other animals that may not have been completed by those who hunted them, or animals that have died of disease. The carrion can consume and break down the disease and the bacteria that could cause sickness to spread. Break it down? In the terms of vultures, they also regurgitate it, giving it back directly to the earth itself, which that can use that matter to grow. Carrions are very cool. Ravens have been known to seek out prey that is dying, sometimes of sickness, sometimes of injury. We are not omens of death. We are that final comfort before the death knell. If you are dying, know that there is always one of us waiting nearby. Be so blessed that you may be ushered into the afterlife by one of my dear cousins. Unfortunately, I filled out a different job application. I got the radio gig instead of working hand by hand with Thanatos. Unfortunately, he's a cutie. Isn't it fun, Omega, as well, that ravens are known to have an incredibly developed frontal lobe, specifically so that they can develop social connections and have fun with other animals? Isn't that delightful? What a coincidence. What a coincidence I would be named for such a creature. For the record, it is my real name. It's the only part of my real name that you're getting, but it is my birth name. My mother had dream premonitions of ravens before I was born, and that's why she picked it. One of them was a premonition of her at a crossroads, or no, at a crosswalk. This is actually quite fascinating. She was at a crosswalk, and she could not cross because there was a raven in the way, eating some kind of discarded fast food. She clarified when I got older that it looked like Taco Bell, which is just horribly, horribly funny. But she saw a raven blocking her pathway on the crosswalk. And then she named me that. Isn't that fascinating? Now, before I get too personal, I'm soothing in a very existential way, I feel, and I know a lot of people are very sensitive to psychosis right now. I should be careful about what I do. Cosmic horror and cosmic hope. And me off-brand the quote like 8 games. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? I can't wait till all of you understand the contextualization of It's Bigger Than Me. I can't wait. I wish Luminescence was here because they would know. There's also been few reports of ravens pushing snow into people's heads. Don't litter. Don't litter or the ravens will come and fuck you up. They really hate it when people litter, and so do I. I fucking hate it. Alright. Give me 1 second. I'm going to mute for just a moment so that I can get ready for this. But, sorry. To celebrate hitting 400, which is the highest amount of followers I have ever had on anything ever, I will sing you a song that I have been losing my mind about quite a bit lately. Okay, 1 moment, everyone. Are we ready? Are we ready? It's a little bit harder to sing whisper, so I'm not going to push myself too far. But so aptly, this is Orpheus's Lament from the official Hades soundtrack. Hear, O gods, my desperate plea, to see my love beside me. Sunk below the mortal sea, her anchor weighs upon me. Fasten her tether on to me, that she may rise to sail free. Don't look back. close enough that light we can see. My doubt betrays the better of me. Glance to the stern is all it would be. That anguish shade shall haunt me ever on. Calm seas, winds ally. But now the squalls upon us were thundering, don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. I need to practice it a little bit more before we do the official cover version of it. I mean, what? Who said that? Who said that? I have no idea what you're talking about. I do apologize, everybody. I timed that terribly. We were coming up on the ads. Wait, I have snoozles. Yes. Yes, I have the ability to snoozle it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Omega. Considering you know the very particular words to use to describe it, I'm going to take that as a very educated compliment, which just, you know, plucks the strings of my harpsichord heart just a little bit. Thank you. Thank you. I have embraced that I have the ability to kind of sound like a siren or some kind of strange, uncanny human creature when I sing. I have fully embraced that, and it has made me significantly more confident about singing in front of chat. I used to be quite nervous, and then the very special Halloween stream that we did this past year, I did absolutely god-awful karaoke. I haven't even been able to listen back to it, because I'm like, oh god, this sucks. It did make me a lot more confident about singing. It did make me a lot more confident about it, though, which is nice. I do hope that everybody liked that. That is your, what I feel, fair and balanced trade for the sheer amount of support that has been given. Right? I mean, I am no better than a man in the way that the second that I am given a space that has any amount of reverb in it, that I do in fact start singing operatically. Just like the boys with their Halo theme. You give a group of gentlemen a stairwell, it's all over. It's all over. Suddenly all of them belong in opera. I can never quite remember the... Alright, I gotta just use the ads one more time. I can never quite remember the pattern of the notes. Thank you kindly, Nicholas. We appreciate it. I do hope that you had a fun time tonight. In an echoey stairwell? Why, yes, that is quite evil, actually. Good job. Good job, that is quite evil. Oh, wait a minute. I think when we hit 380, I did Daisy Bell, but that's also a very fun one. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. Good night, Nicholas. Give Cornflake extra kissies and or chin scratches depending on what she prefers. Everybody give your pets extra chin scratchies or kisses depending on what they prefer for me. Lullaby of Woe. Oh man. Oh man, they're all so good. I will have to keep in mind. There's a few other ones. There's a few other ones that I've been thinking about. What was it? Spectre by Bad Omens. That was one that I thought would lend itself fairly well. Okay, 1 second. I haven't practiced it like this. I feel like it could also have a very siren kind of feel to it. I haven't practiced this one independently. I only sing it when I listen to it in the car. Let's see, let's see. I can't leave, but I can't be in this place. This must all be an illusion, skipping frames. Years of living in that cold and empty space, and it haunts me every time I think I'm safe. Do you feel love? I know I don't. With no one to hold. Do you feel love, love, love? Do you feel love when you're alone? Do you feel at home? Do you feel love, love, love? Do you feel? I think it can lend itself well. Okay. I can work on this one a little bit. This is also the ironic part of being a caged bird that sings. Everything that you can think of, every pun that you can think of, every play on words. For me, being named after a raven, it all works. Scattered little bird brain, bird trapped in a cage, the mimicry of ravens, all of it. It all applies. Isn't that so fun? But now, unfortunately, my dear listeners, lurkers, and watchers, that I have to thank so much for taking some time out of your day to spend it with me. I do greatly appreciate it, and I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you, Mosslings, thank you. I do appreciate it. It is mostly through the incredible open-hearted compassion of my lovely, lovely dust bunnies that I have gained the confidence to do so. So I am endlessly thankful for all of you. I do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. I hope you take some time to take care of yourself, as it is oh so important to do so. And as we do, to be very real for a moment, I know that things are very scary out there. I know that you are very uncertain. In the face of all out cosmic horror, it's bigger than us. Remember that there is cosmic hope as well. It is all bigger than us. We are all a part of it. What we have to do to ensure that this cycle continues, whether it's a cycle of destruction or a cycle of life, to choose tomorrow. Do something kind for yourself today so that tomorrow is easier. That may seem daunting, that may seem dreadful. Make it something that's not so scary. I often make the joke about sexualizing your horrors. You got sleep paralysis demons? Kiss 'em. You got horrors beyond human comprehension? Write 'em a love note. Stare until that void, until it makes sense to you. And with that, my dear dust bunnies, I shall see you again. Same bat time, same bat channel, this coming Friday, where we will be playing one of my favorite games, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I cannot wait to share more of the fantastic experience that it is with all of you. And until then, I am your host, always and obediently yours. And I wish you a good night.